Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
And a hearty good morning to you. It is October 2nd. How about that? Look at that. It's flying by. It's Thursday, October 2nd. It is Coffee In on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with you. And around the Coffee In table, John Ward is here. Hey.
Good morning,
John
everybody.
Ward.
It's autumn, I can tell.
You're wearing a sweatshirt. That's how you can tell.
It was 40-some, low 40s
hoodie,
this morning
Joe.
when I walked the
It's
dog.
a hoodie, yeah.
And it was a little bit of a, maybe I would think Dave would call it not a calm wind, but a 3-mile-per-hour wind.
That's calm.
No, it isn't.
3?
If you can measure it, that ain't calm.
If
Joe.
you can feel it on your skin, it's not a
All
calm
right.
wind. And I could
Right.
feel it coming out of the west and maybe northwest. And I tell you, it was chilly and dry air.
All right. That's Dave Richards over there.
I'm a placeholder this morning, Joe. As Sue is on her way to the studio. She's already been here, but she had to exit for a moment. She'll be right back to say good morning.
She had to take
Right,
a
Sue?
very important
And here she
phone,
comes.
a very important phone call. All right. Hello there, Sue Tessier McKenzie. How are you?
Try to sit. They've kept my seat warm. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Bob Lauder could not be with us this week. Court calls. So I got the call yesterday.
And I actually have
Can't make
a
it in.
legal question for him. that I'm not going to be able to
Oh,
get
we
answered.
love when
Say-
Bob gets legal questions.
Yes.
Don't we?
because
He's not here to answer.
Sue looks
We
up the
have
answer.
fun with those.
Well, it was a question regarding the release of this audit report that the governor
Okay.
so adamantly insisted.
That his lawyers told him not
said,
to
Don't
release
it.
Yeah.
And the attorney general, though he said it was always public, never posted it up as a visible piece of evidence where they had all the other evidence for the bridge litigation up on their website. This one never got posted until somebody leaked it, and then all of a sudden it appeared on the attorney general's website. And
Look at that.
apparently the concern is over the fact that it implicates not just contractors throughout the years, but significantly the state DOT for failure to do proper maintenance and for follow-ups on inspections. And so the thing that the governor has never had is a day of reckoning with the DOT staff, so to speak. And the claim of the lawyer said don't release it and the attorney general didn't make it public. It is a public document.
Mm-hmm.
And my question for Bob was going to be, how much of an impact does, once this document is received, when the Attorney General got their hands on it, in discovery during trials, you are required to release and share everything you have that you're going to present to the opposite side so that they can prepare a defense. So the Attorney General indicated, yes, we had shared it already with the contractors that we're suing. So once that's been shared with them,
Why is that?
what's the secret?
Yeah.
Why was there advice to not release it to the public? Because
Look that up, Sue.
does
No, I'm geek.
does the
Well, I'm looking at my phone going, I don't even know where to begin.
does public knowledge really impact the outcome of court litigation where two parties one party is suing another party? And I can't understand why the government would think that keeping something hidden or not publicly released is somehow going to affect, or had they released it, how it would have affected the outcome of the court case. It makes no sense to me.
So,
It sounds
well,
like a great excuse.
Save that question for next week when Bob is here.
Oh, don't worry.
I would love to
It'll
see if he's
still
got
be
a
fresh by
question
then,
for
I'm
that.
sure.
All right. Speaking of the whole audit thing and with the bridge and everything like that, Sue, are you surprised that after all this time that DOT Director Peter Alviti hasn't just resigned?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's so much.
The only thing I can think of, he's hanging on, waiting to be fired so he can keep his pension. Is that the only reason he's hanging on to this job?
I'm not a good person to ask because, to my mind, Peter Alviti doesn't really work for the Department of Transportation, the state of Rhode Island, or the people of Rhode Island. He works for the union bosses that got him the job because of his connection to the union, the various laborers' unions, and construction trade unions that put him in the job through Gina Raimondo by piling cash into her campaign, and she paid them back by giving Peter the job so he could make sure his friends were taken care of.
That they kept having jobs.
He is still taking care of them,
Yeah.
and as long as he is taking care of them, he's going to hang around to keep doing
So
it.
he's not- he won't
maybe they don't
resign.
have the next union hack ready to go into the job.
Okay, well, it goes on, right?
In my opinion.
Yeah. And well, see, in your opinion. That's right, John, in your opinion.
We're going to have to put one of those things that says
Disclaimer.
disclaimer: the opinions voiced on this radio
Ours,
station
his,
do
and
not
his alone.
reflect.
That's right. Okay, well, the Red Sox lost last night. Did you watch it, Sue?
No, I
No,
did not. But
okay,
they got to win
okay.
one more.
They do have to win one more to move
If
on.
they don't, they're out.
Season's done. Yep. John watched it. I watched it, and things I wonder about, John. One, why can't we bunt? A nice
That's an
easy
interesting
loft
question.
to the pitcher. Sadon, thank you very much.
I wonder what it's like trying to bunt, though, when the ball is coming at you at 98
It's
to
very
100 miles
difficult.
per hour.
Well, it is a difficult thing, but you don't.
I know
When I
it's
played, our coaches always tell you got to angle the bat correctly
Gotta
so the ball
angle-
goes down.
But you got to angle
Right.
the
Not
bat.
up.
You got to angle the bat correctly, and that's why sometimes you see people bunting and they'll push the
They
bat.
push it, yeah.
But in fact, at 100 miles per hour, you probably need to let it sort of absorb a lot
You
of
do.
the
You
shock
gotta-
from
you
the
gotta
ball. You just
hold
let
it back.
Let the ball. Let
It's
the
a
bat go.
it's a little easier to bunt a 100-mile-an-hour ball than hit it, than try to swing and hit it.
Yeah.
Because you're just
think.
holding it right there. But anyway,
Start
Zidane
to swing and it's already by you.
bunted it
And
up
I
to the
think you
pitcher,
got to
caught
hit
it.
the top of the ball.
It
Not
helped.
the
Yes.
top, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
To-
So it goes down, and if it goes foul, well, okay, it goes foul. But at least you've hit it to the ground.
Actually, I didn't watch the entire game.
Oh,
To be
when did
honest.
you?
We were
Okay.
watching another show, and then I knew I was monitoring on the phone, and saw that we were coming up into the ninth inning, and pushed it over to that. And it was just coming back from commercials, and incredibly, I'm watching Yankee players jumping up and down. Everybody's happy, hits and catches and all of this stuff. And Red Sox guy dropped the ball, and I'm thinking, oh, this isn't good. They must be getting crushed.
Oh no, they weren't
No,
getting crushed.
it's one run down, and it's
Yeah.
close. It's the top of the ninth inning.
The other issue I had was, if you're a Major League Baseball player, okay, and the ball is hit you in the air, and it hits you in the glove, you really should catch the ball.
You oughta.
Jaron Duran hit him right in the glove, and he dropped it. Led to a run being
Was it
scored.
inside, or did it?
No, he closed his glove. He closed
it
his
a little
glove
too much
too
and it
early.
hit off the
Yeah.
two ends.
And then down it goes. I'm like,
Yeah, well, every player does that when they're 12, 13 years old.
not when you're in the playoffs.
Right?
I do expect. I'm sorry, but I expect perfection. And then we had two chances late in the game, and to hit a home run to tie it up, and we came up 5 feet short. 5 more feet and it's out, and it's just like, oh, that's a killer. Now tonight's game. Now last 2 games have all started at 6:00 at night. Well, 6:08, which really turns into 6:15. But anyway, tonight's game's been moved. As I just found out, someone sent me an email, and I looked it up, and sure enough, they're right. And tonight's game's now going to be at 8:00. Well, ESPN wants it on prime time.
Now, here's the thing.
Money, 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 money.
Will there be a new record set tonight?
For viewership?
No.
For what?
I heard after the first game
Yeah.
that every team that has won the first game
Oh.
at this level of playoffs has
Wins.
gone on to win that series.
That's right. Yeah.
Every one since it started this way.
Yeah.
Will the Red Sox be the first not to do that?
Well, I don't know. And plus, there's 2 other games today too,
Right.
and it may happen
May
before
happen
the Red
before-
Sox Yankees
before
even
the Red Sox
take,
have a chance to do
happens.
it.
So it's possible.
Will they be the second or
I don't know.
third?
But then,
I just, those kinds of things when they announce them, it's sort of like when they get to the
Well, they
eighth
always
inning
do.
and they say, he's got a no-hitter going.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, ruin that.
yeah. And,
So by saying
they scored the first run, so what's the odds
the
that
teams
we're
that
going to
win
win?
the first game always win until you talk about it, and then they don't.
And then they don't. So ESPN must have been jumping up and down yesterday with joy because instead of having 4 games today, there's only 3 because the Dodgers won last night against the Reds, which means Dodgers move on, Reds go home, so there's not 3 games tonight. because it was always the 6 o'clock game for the Red Sox, and then the 9 o'clock game, which was 6 o'clock on the West Coast, to go to a fourth game. There is no fourth game tonight, which is why they can move it up to 8 o'clock tonight and go head-to-head against Thursday Night Football. That's the way it goes in the sporting world. So tonight's game is at 8:08. So instead of the game ending at 10 past 9, which is as done the last couple of nights, it'll be ending at 11:30 this evening. That's just a prediction. Just a prediction. Two rookies are pitching tonight for both teams. So I don't know how it's going to go.
9 innings.
It'll go 9 innings. All right, or maybe
I can predict.
I hope it goes 9 innings. It may go 8.5, which won't be good at all.
There's
So
no mercy rule.
there's no
Major League
mercy
Baseball.
rule. And then they brought that up last night. If it does go into extra innings, because they were thinking extra innings last night. No, let's put a guy on second base like they did during the regular season. That rules out during the playoffs.
Okay, I do have a question that I know you'll know the answer to, but I don't follow the baseball rules that closely.
All right.
So real quickly, when I was watching pickoff attempts at first base, the pitcher's standing there, the guy's jumping up and down on first base,
Volpe.
making all kinds of crazy
Yeah.
motions, and the pitcher, of course, throws to push him back to first base. And I see the umpire do this with the one finger
Yeah.
after the first one, and
Yeah.
then he lifts 2 fingers after the second one, and then after the third one, he gives him second base.
You
When
want
did
to
that rule come in?
You want to take it, Sue? Okay, no. Anyway, it either started this year or last year, and it's to speed. It's one of the rules to
get it's a
speed the game up.
Because I've seen where they just keep throwing to first base.
That's right. You can only throw over twice. If you throw over a third time, you better get him out. You can get him out, or it's considered a balk, and now he goes to second base. So the one is okay. That's one. They call it an engagement, and that's a way to signal to your pitcher. Okay, you've thrown it over once.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw the
2.
one, then I saw the
You've
2,
thrown
and
it-
I thought,
you've-
what's this all about?
You've thrown it over
And
twice.
Then when the third one came, and he
It's-
missed him, not by much, but he
no,
missed him.
it's an automatic balk.
He gets the base.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Stop throwing
that's
over
a
here.
stupid rule.
Well, it's to speed up
But
the
I
game.
mean, but it has, I am sure it has increased the amount of taunting that fast runners will do, like jumping up and down like this guy was doing.
Yeah.
And doing, did
And-
everything but cartwheels just to distract him and make him think that he'd better get him back on the base. And so it sort of forces the pitcher's hand a bit.
It does, and it becomes the advantage to the runner, especially if they're fast,
it is
to
an
steal.
advantage to rather-
Well, that's why you got to pick and
maybe-
choose your times you throw over first base.
Maybe Major League Baseball needs a taunting rule too.
Have the umpires throw a flag? That would be funny. Well, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, and I don't know why, if the guy is on first base and he's jumping up and down, throw it over to first place when he's in midair. You have him. And they just didn't seem to be able to figure that out. And but, I don't play Major League Baseball, so it's easy for me to make critiques
You
like
know
this.
what the horse said in Beavis and Butthead?
The horse?
The horse.
No.
No, sir. I don't like it.
Don't like it at all.
You have
All
to be a
right.
Beavis and Butthead fan to know that.
I guess so. All right, we're moving along. We got to take a first break here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way, and I'll let Sue know ahead of time. Your message is coming up, so be unprepared.
Meg, I'm ready.
Right off the top of your head. All right,
Yeah.
all right. More Coffee and coming your way. We ask you to please stick around.
OM 1240. Hey, let's talk about Chan's Fine Oriental Dining, 120 years plus in the business. And tomorrow night, September 26th, on stage in the Four Seasons Banquet Room with Sam and Dave. Sam Gentili and Dave Tenuri, that's Sam and Dave, and members of the Brass Attack, Riz Vintage Rhythm and Blues Ensemble, featuring Tom Petteruti, drums, Don Payne, bass, and Paul Boulay on the keyboard. And it's 15 in advance, 20 at the door at Chan's. Moving along to Saturday's entertainment, while I have your attention, a brilliant contemporary blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter, Selwyn Birchwood. Coming up Saturday night, 35 in advance, 40 at the door. Big show at Chan's, and of course, they got great food too. Chan's Fine Oriental Dining, 267 Main Street in Woonsocket.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as
The
directed.
Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
WOON Worldwide.
Here we are on Coffee and thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Sue Tester McKenzie and John Ward. Bob Lotto could not be with us this week. And Sue, time for your first message from the Blackstone Valley Call-and-Times newspaper.
Good morning. Well, I've been updating you on the community choice, nominate and vote for me and all that. Well, the votes are in. I do have a list of winners that I'm slowly working on. Well, not slowly, but as efficiently as I possibly can. So if you have not been contacted, but you have a question as to whether you are one of the top 3, feel free to call my cell phone at 401-487-4136. Again, it's Sue McKenzie at 487-4136.
All right, Sue, thanks. And did you see one of your sister newspapers
Yeah.
in your corporate
In
group?
our group.
Yeah, made the news because, and it happened in Attleboro. And there was a story
Sun Chronicle?
in the Sun Chronicle about this couple that said, it's bizarre. This couple said, we found this dog on the side of the road in a cage. And they went in and they talked to a convenience store clerk, and they called the police, and I don't know who called the paper, but they came
Right.
down and did a big story on it. Turns out the whole thing was a hoax.
And it was their dog.
Well, the woman adopted the dog, and the husband didn't want it. And I'm like, well, give it to animal control. And they said, I don't know what they were trying to prove by saying, we found it by the side of the road. And somehow
I
the
know,
whole
right?
thing was proven as a hoax. And I'm like, this is bizarre.
That is bizarre.
But I don't know if they just wanted to get their name and faces in the paper or what.
Being nice people.
Oh,
But
yeah,
how
are we
could
being
you-
great?
I mean, not for nothing, it's difficult to, you want a dog, your spouse doesn't.
Yeah,
that's
but
difficult
basically
in
she surprised
itself.
them with the dog.
Right.
It looks like.
Isn't that something you're supposed to work out
but-
before you bring the animal
Yeah,
home?
because there are some shelters even, they want to speak to the property owner if you're renting. They want, so they're trying to, avoid my landlord found out I had a dog, which has been a popular issue for returning dogs. So, yeah, I would think that both spouses should have been spoken to.
My wife works for a dog rescue up in Uxbridge, and they have a very rigid application
Yeah.
process for adoption.
To adopt a dog, yeah.
And,
do.
and they will, and I'm surprised if someone's in that situation where one spouse says yes, the other says no, you can always foster a dog.
Right.
And they let you bring the dog home, take care of the dog while they're trying to adopt it. So they're always looking for foster homes for some dogs to get them acclimated to living in a household, get them out of the crates that they keep
Make
them
sure
in
the
the
fit
shelters.
is right.
And make sure that and give the people a chance to think about whether or not they're interested in having a dog.
But I've also known people, more than one person, who've made the drive to North Carolina to adopt the dog down there and bring it back to Rhode Island.
I don't get that because most of the dogs up here now are trucked in from around the country because there's so many people that are doing bad things with breeding dogs, and they truck them up here. My wife's place, they get, some weeks they'll bring in 10 or 12 dogs that they have to then have out for adoption. Beautiful dogs. They come, even the dog we have came, I think, from Arkansas. And it's funny, when my son was living next door to, do a little name dropping here, when my son was next door neighbor to Kirk Cousins, that's how they got their dog.
Okay.
Was they fostered a dog for about a year.
Wow.
I mean, the dog wasn't picked up or adopted by anybody, but it was fostered for a long time. And then they finally said, we're just going to adopt the dog. And I think that was just before he moved from Washington up to
Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
But,
But But I know I have another friend that adopted a dog, and he met whoever was giving the dog at a rest area somewhere in Massachusetts, where they passed the dog along to him. I said, "Sounds like a drug deal."
And
he goes, and it looked like it. He said, except we were passing dogs to
it's
each
risky
other.
because you don't know if you're just getting a very unhealthy dog.
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
You know, if you have a heart and you start taking care of them, they can cost you thousands of dollars in care.
Yep. All right. I don't know how we get on to, just the Attleboro Sun Chronicle made the news.
I want to promote the paper because this morning I was reading it and I saw that the one of the syndicated columnists is from Harrop, who writes as a fairly liberal person.
All right.
And every once in a while she pops in these conservative angle things. And she did today because she's ridiculing the New York City Democrats and the headline that was put on it, and I don't know that she calls that, but the headline attracted my attention. It says, "Electing a racist communist would make New York City Democrats look bad." Well, she's talking
Talk about the mayor?
Donnie.
Yeah. When is that election taking place? Is that taking place this fall?
November.
In a month,
And,
okay.
Eric Adams drops out. Cuomo gets stronger. He is just doing his big advertising push, and they're specifically targeting those populations that would be adversely affected by the things Mamdani promotes, like cutting back the police force.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be targeting the Jewish community, the black community, because he said some fairly anti-Semitic things about globalizing the Intifada and getting rid of the police department. And he's moderating his views now because he's a politician and they're sleazy like that, so they'll lie to you to get the job. And he's trying to do that, but Cuomo, I think, is going to call him out
All right.
with maybe some money, and it might turn out to be a much, much closer race when it's all said and done.
I saw this yesterday, so you might find this amusing. And I was driving through Taunton, Massachusetts, and there's a big election going on in Taunton, Mass. City councils and the mayor. And there's a woman running for mayor in in Taunton, and her name is not important, but it's what was on her sign. And so there's a picture of her. This is a lawn sign. A picture of her, her name for Taunton mayor, and then underneath it, it just says, "People before politics." And I thought, sure, until you need to get something done.
Right.
And then...
That's like bull before crap.
It sounds good, and people might
I'll
love
give
it.
you all the bull now,
until
but you'll get the crap later.
What do you want that bridge repaired? Well, we want something over here too. We'll see. I don't even know if she's going to win. I have no idea. But I just thought that was an amusing little sign. I saw it down in Taunton, Massachusetts yesterday.
It's such a common cliche. People over politics.
Yeah.
It's such crap.
Well, she's the only one using it in Taunton right now. Whoever the opposition is can't use it. She's using it. So,
Well,
all right.
they can. Why
Both
not?
of them, both at the same time. You got to separate yourself, John, from the competition.
Well, do a sign that says "Real people over her."
Oh, there you go. All right. We're in day 2 of the government shutdown. John,
Do I sound cynical?
not you, John, but we're in day
I
2
know,
of
right?
the government shutdown. I think last week, John, did you say you thought it was only going to last a couple of days? Are you modifying that? I talked to Ed Crew about it on Tuesday. He goes, I think it's going for a few weeks.
Well, the average, there have been 21 shutdowns since 1977. I looked it up.
Okay.
The average has been 8 days. The longest
days, okay.
one actually did happen during Trump's first term.
34 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, it may go up through Columbus Day weekend, where they go for the holiday getaway thing, and try to get something done. And it will also be triggered by the fact that the payroll was just paid, and so everybody got a paycheck. So they've got 2 weeks to the next paycheck.
Oh, so we don't have to worry.
So they've got 2 weeks to play with. I happen to be a big fan of a guy named Leland Vittert. He's on News Nation. I don't know if you're a Cox subscriber. It's on Channel 82. Mm-hmm. It's basically a conversion of the old WGN out of Chicago that's become similar to Fox and MSNBC and CNN, and they're competing against them. And Leland is a former field reporter that does a show now at 9 o'clock, and he did a classic piece last night, and I'm going to go try to find a video clip of it. he had a Republican on to explain their position on the closure and why they did this clean continuing resolution, they call it, which is basically saying everything that's in place now we will continue for 7 weeks while we can negotiate the next continuing resolution or a budget. And then he had a Democrat on. And of course, the Republicans are saying they want us to spend $1 trillion, and then it's going to include providing health care for illegal aliens, which we should not be doing. And the Democrats are all saying it is against the law to provide health insurance for illegal aliens or non-citizens under the Affordable Care Act.
The Democrats are saying that, or the Republicans?
Yeah,
are
and they
saying
say, well, so we're not promoting.
Oh, we're
that.
not. We don't want that.
They're
Okay.
lying. We're not promoting that, and the Republicans are saying they're lying.
Yeah.
And of course, this is why I'm cynical about politicians. And basically, the bull comes before the crap.
Not you, John, not you.
The bull comes before the crap. And I cleaned it up for the FCC only.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. The fact is, and Leland Vittert had the Republican on, then he had the Democrat on. And when he had the Democrat on, he played for him the soundbite from Barack Obama when they shut down the government during his term when they were fighting over Affordable Care Act.
And what did Obama say?
And they said they had it when Joe Biden was president, when they were shut down, because they were both clips from when there were clean continuing resolutions with nothing added, just continue where we're going. And both of those presidents say the Republicans are holding us hostage for their expensive whatever it is they want. And so he plays this for this Democrat congressman, and he says, so why is it good for those two presidents when President Trump is saying exactly the same thing now about the Democrats? Why was it okay for them and not okay for Donald Trump?
Do they have an answer?
And he went into this non-answer.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we negotiated.
we
Negotiated before that, got to that continuing resolution, and so there was no negotiation here. And I'm thinking, here's that lie that they tell, because clearly in the House they negotiated it. Clearly they attempted to negotiate it in the Senate and make their arguments, and they got to the clean continuing resolution. We just want to move this along, and I am certain that that's exactly what happened back in those two cycles that had the president saying, we're not going to be held hostage. It's all the Republicans' fault. They're the ones that caused this shutdown. And now the Republicans are saying it's the Democrats that caused this shutdown. And so basically, and then he also pointed out, well, they said that if you include the Democrats' demands, that in fact, wouldn't there be health care paid through hospitals that provide health care for non-citizens? And of course the Democrats said, well, and he moved over to this California example where their state laws require them to provide certain services for pregnant women, people go into an emergency room, or a couple of other cases. And in California, they actually provide health care for non-citizens. Okay. Which they're entitled to do as a state yeah. with their own money, and that's the argument that the federal government took when they did the big beautiful bill was, we will no longer compensate you for emergency care. We will no longer compensate the hospitals for that, and so the guy says, well, that's only a tiny sliver and it's a small amount, and Vittert looks at him and says, but you said it was nothing. And that's not nothing.
Yeah.
And so he basically called him out on a lie, a classic lie of a political party, and I'm not attributing it exclusively to Democrats. It happens all the time on both sides.
Yeah.
It's total exaggeration and hyperbole. And then they expect us all to swallow it. And whoever's on their side sits there saying, yep, my guy's the good guy. My guy's the good guy. He's the bad guy. And you got to shake your head and just say, what are we living in here?
All right, on that note, we got to get another message, Sue.
That was fun.
That one I didn't plan for.
No.
Okay, who's that?
From the Blackstone Valley Calling-Times.
Who's that?
That's the wall. There you are. I like to look at the wall every once in a while.
Good morning again. Just a reminder, with different holidays, you're getting into the holiday season, when the post office does not deliver mail we will not have a print edition of our paper. We will have an online edition, however, an e-edition. So if you're interested in participating in that side of it, give me a call and I can send you to the correct department. You can call my cell phone at 487-4136. Again, I will be reaching out to all the winners, first, second, and third place of our recent Community Choice Awards.
Very good, Sue. And we're going to take a break and time for the forecast, which is being brought to you by Compassion International.
Sunny skies today with a high of only 64 degrees and a breeze from the northeast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 42. Friday's weather, sunshine and 71. Saturday, sunshine and 79. Sunday, sunshine and 82. Monday, sunny skies again with a high of 80. Tuesday, mostly sunny at 80. Next Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, high near 74, and a 50% chance of showers with a southwest wind.
And outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street under the sunny skies, we are up to 47 degrees. Imagine a child in extreme poverty waiting over a year to be sponsored. And their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest-standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision-making and a relationship-based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, and MLS number 465956.
Hi, everybody. All right, let's have the right announcement for Chan's now. Coming up tomorrow night, October the 3rd, from 8 to 10 p.m. in Chan's is Coco Montoya. Inventive guitar work and passionate vocals have kept him on the top of the blues world for a long time. $45 in advance and $50 at the door for Coco Montoya tomorrow, Friday night, October 3rd. And then on the 4th, which is Saturday, Neil and the Vipers are on from 8 to 10. And Neil Vitullo, of course, birthday bash. Don't miss it. You know it's going to be fun. 15 in advance, 20 at the door. And they got great food, too, at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining, 267 Main Street in Woonsocket.
WOON Woonsocket Radio, ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. We thank you for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Sue Tesser-McKenzie and John Ward. And Bob Lauder could not be with us this week. We hope Bob can join us next week. This portion of the Coffee In program is sponsored by attorney Bob Lauder. When you need a skilled attorney who will fight for your rights, look no further than attorney Bob Lauder of Woonsocket. If your legal questions revolve around estates or trusts, then talk to Bob. If you're contemplating a divorce, then talk to Bob. Attorney Bob Lauder has a calming demeanor, which is very helpful in legal matters. And Bob has more than 40 years' experience practicing law. Call attorney Bob Lauder today at 401-762-4550, 762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. When you need a skilled attorney who will fight for your rights, look no further than attorney Bob Lauder of Woonsocket. If your legal questions revolve around estates or trusts, then talk to Bob. If you're contemplating a divorce, then talk to Bob. Attorney Bob Lauder has a calming demeanor, which is very helpful in legal matters. And Bob has more than 40 years' experience practicing law. Call attorney Bob Lauder today at 401-762-4550. 762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Back-to-back Bob Lauder commercials. Pretty nice, huh? Just ran it twice.
That out of the way, right?
Now that that's out of the way, that's right. All right. So good news. Taking a look at Channel 12's website, Bryant University over there in Smithfield could serve as a practice site for teams that are participating in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. You know, the game's going to be at Gillette.
Yep.
I thought they were going to be practicing down in Pawtucket.
Well, you need more fields though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
isn't it for the teams, the
Yeah.
individuals? So yeah.
So yeah, if you're, I guess we could have a couple of teams in Pawtucket. You get the field from 1 to 3, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get it from 4 to 6 or whatever it is. But if there's so many more teams coming in, do we have any other decent soccer fields around that we can
But
practice
when is
on?
that going to take place?
Next summer. That's a
So
2026.
well, they probably use some of the dorm space too for the
They could
people
do that,
need
too.
A place to stay.
Rhode Island officials said FIFA, which is FIFA, which is the governing body of soccer, included Bryant in its base camp brochure, which features a list of locations where teams can train. They will host Foxborough. Gillette Stadium will host it next summer. It's one of 16 venues in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Let's see. In June, Rhode Island created Ocean State 2026, a nonprofit that will be working to make sure the state takes advantage of all the economic opportunities the World Cup will bring to the area. Like, please use our hotels down in Providence when if you got a game in Foxborough, don't go to Boston, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
like the
fairly
football
common.
players do.
There's a lot of.
But if you're coming from Spain,
Oh, yeah.
do you know that? No, you're thinking, oh, if we're playing in this state called Massachusetts, we should be staying in that
In
state.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, and there is a hotel right there. Is it a Marriott? That's right at Patriot Place.
All right.
It's right in Patriot Place.
Could be
but
likely a Marriott.
but even the football teams from outside don't stay there. Really expensive. And they said no, it's cheaper to stay at the Biltmore, wherever they stay, and we'll bus them in.
You can let the team owners and their families stay there.
Well, yeah, and so maybe they do. So that would be cool if Bryant is used as a
and
practice facility.
Mr. Kraft's guests.
Yes, like Donnie Wahlberg, who always seems to be sitting on his right hand side all the
I don't know,
time.
does he live in the area? Does he even live in the area?
Donnie Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boston area, I guess.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think the Wahlbergs
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's
if
a
not-
Hilton.
It's a Hilton. Thanks, Sue. So up there at Patriot Place, okay. But on the bad side, the Starbucks on Providence's College Hill is closed. Did you see that a bunch of Starbucks were closing, mostly in Boston, but the one in Providence is closed too.
Level one.
I don't know. I've never
I think
never
it was
been
a
there.
2-level.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've only been in there a couple times.
That will
It's kinda-
affect me exactly not at all.
No,
Me-
okay.
me too.
The company announced last week that hundreds of its coffee shops will be shuttered as part of a restructuring. The signs are already gone from the Thayer Street locations on the edge of the Brown University campus, and as of yesterday, it appeared the only Starbucks in Rhode Island that has been, it's the only one that's been closed because there's one in Lincoln.
Gee, I wonder if that's the
Yeah.
unionized one.
There's one in Lincoln Mall.
Hint, hint, hint.
Lincoln
Wow.
Mall, yeah.
We could still call it Lincoln Mall, but technically,
It's Lincoln Commons,
Lincoln
isn't it?
Commons.
Lincoln's, yeah.
When did, okay.
But yeah, I wonder if they closed a lot of their union shops. That
I don't know.
That these pink-haired young people decided they were going to force down the throat of corporate Starbucks and those rich SOBs that were stealing their money and getting rich off of them.
Did you know it's not only Taylor Swift owns property in Rhode Island, but Judge Judy.
She just sold her.
She just sold her property in
Yes.
Newport. I didn't even know she owned a place.
You didn't know that?
No. And she sold it for $15 million.
Like almost double what she paid. I believe she paid
she?
$8 million.
Really? Okay. Maybe she didn't want to pay that Rhode Island tax.
Maybe she
on the
rehabbed the
millionaires.
kitchen or something.
She purchased the property on Beacon Hill Road. I'm not sure where that is in Newport for $9 million. Okay,
Yeah,
in
nine.
2018.
It was close.
The previous owner was the Campbell Soup heiress, Dorrance Hill Hamilton. They don't say who it was sold to though this time round. And Jay Leno owns property
Yeah.
in
Yes,
Newport, doesn't he?
You might. Jay Leno's the kind of guy you might run into him in a coffee shop in
In Newport?
If you hang around there often enough, yeah.
Well, let's go.
He's from time to time. He'll just show
He'll
up.
just,
in
he'll just be
places.
down there? Okay. Someone famous was just in town. Kevin Bacon was having his first Dell's Lemonade.
No way.
He was filming some show or some movie.
Had a truck.
Yep, and there's a picture of him having his first Dells, and he liked it. Hey, how come we don't have this in
Did he
California?
use the straw?
No,
Or did he
no,
squeeze
I
the cup?
Nothing against,
think
nothing
he had the
against
cup.
Minute Maid, but those things that they put into the cups and freeze, yeah, that's compared to Dell's.
All right, let's see. This happened in Methuen, Massachusetts, yesterday and a couple of days before. And over the last couple of days, the city of Methuen has closed down 5 spas. I'm going to put that in quotes.
Spas.
Those
Air quotes.
those kind of spas. 5 of them.
Did they offer massages?
Yes, they did, as a matter of
gee,
fact.
what do you think?
But they were more worried about human trafficking that was going on. And I read yesterday one of the neighbors said, there's a lot of girls showing up with suitcases all the time. And then there's a lot of guys showing up in very nice SUVs.
That's a pretty good clue.
That is a good clue. So,
Right.
so 5 altogether have been closed.
Mr. Kraft wasn't one of them, was it?
Nope. They were closed after inspectors said they found illegal activity, code violations, and workers living in the business. That's a violation
that's a
too.
no-no.
Yep. The mayor, D.J. Beauregard, has said he is declaring war on human trafficking in Methuen.
In Methuen.
Yeah. I'm just like 5. That's a lot in one city.
Well, you know what? There are more of those
Kind of
than
places.
people
Realize?
even realize.
Okay.
Because all right, so I'm just going there. So I walked into one because my job is selling advertising and walking into businesses.
Okay.
Apparently, they forgot to lock the door, and it's right in Uxbridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're in the wrong place. Right when you walk in that door,
Yeah, he's like-
and you can't. You're too.
gonna turn around and
you're
walk out
too
now.
like you can't. Listen to me speaking. All right. Can you hear how that was how my feet were moving? They weren't
What do I
going
do?
in
What
the
do I
right
do? What do I do?
direction. So yeah.
Oh, wow. So, and from what I read yesterday, whenever these things happen, these raids are made and they arrest people, they're always Chinese, and the owner is always from New York City. And that's who was arrested here.
Again.
It was a Chinese name, and they just said they're from New York City as the head person. Seems to always be in charge. In the town I live in Mansfield, they had one of these spas, and you could tell somehow by they had a big sign outside, and it was there. It was a phone number that you wanted to call to make an appointment.
Yeah.
But it was it was like 636 or 555. There's someone. It's not a localized phone
Yeah.
number, and the police showed up one time and basically said, we can't arrest anybody. We don't have any proof yet, but we know who you are. We're keeping an eye on you.
And they were gone the next day.
We really want you to leave, and they left.
Yeah.
I said, thanks for the heads up. And
And you can kind of
and they
tell
never
from
came
the
back.
look of the place.
Yeah, and sometimes by the names.
Yeah, just
we
looking
don't
at it
have,
from the outside. You typically don't put a neon sign, in a spa.
Yeah.
A real spa is a calming, relaxing,
Yeah,
type of thing.
not just blank walls.
Right.
One
It's-
mattress on the floor.
I wonder if instead of talking to the business, waiting for it to show up, if they were to talk to the owner of the property, I don't know. Can the owner be implicated in the charges of human trafficking if
If knowing
know about it?
rent.
well, I mean, if you're renting to a Chinese guy out of New York, I don't know.
Well, they said they
That's
were.
going to open
For
a spa.
For a spa, you might want to look at it a little more carefully.
Well, you as the owner, okay, you're getting your money. Great. Probably got a couple of
I
6 months
know,
up front.
but-
Is it your responsibility to say, well, okay, Spot, tell me more about it.
That's
show me.
a legal question, I think. That's a Bob
That
question.
is a good
we
Bob
need
question.
to save that one for Bob.
Whatever rent you're going to get, you're going to stop getting as soon as they get caught doing it.
Well, true. Okay.
But like you say, if you're almost like you could be an accessory to the crime by knowingly renting.
By accommodating
So that's
it.
where this is a good Bob question.
Okay.
Pencil that. Write that
Right,
down.
I'll try to remember
Write
for
that
next
down.
week. What is the building owner's responsibility to who they rent
If
to?
at all.
And they could be lying to them. Oh, we're going to put it in a
Right.
furniture store, and they
You
completely
mean a landlord
change.
would rent to somebody and then not go see what they're doing there?
Doesn't that happen quite a bit here in
Alleged.
Woonsocket?
It has a corporate name. What's the corporate address if they're renting to them?
Okay. So, all right. And let's see. Anything else? All right. That's what's going on. There's an investigation going on at the ACI. Did you hear this yesterday? Someone was found dead at the
Wasn't that
ACI
in
yesterday.
August? Didn't they die in August?
Well, two have been charged now. Two other inmates. Two people are facing charges after a man who was being held at the ACI in the intake center died back in August. You're absolutely right on that one. According to the arrest reports, Rhode Island State Police were called to the detention facility on August 9th after a man was found unresponsive inside his cell without any signs of trauma or foul play. Pronounced dead at the scene, and after searching his cell, authorities found drugs that later tested positive for fentanyl.
Now, how could
How
drugs
did-
ever
get into
possibly
the
get into
the yeah.
a prison system?
Let's see, and let's see, but
I think they need to pay the guards more overtime in order to make sure that doesn't happen. I mean,
let's
they're only
see.
making $150,000, $200,000 a year.
The arrest report said detectives reviewed surveillance footage of the visitation and believed it showed a couple of people allegedly taking contraband from another prisoner and then visiting him, and then he later died in his cell. So he overdosed basically, or he wanted to commit suicide. Could be either one.
You know, that's what I thought of too. Did he want? But the fact is, you know, you're looking to commit suicide in jail. That's like not on my watch.
Yeah.
So now it does become a problem
Okay.
with the fentanyl.
We're going to take our final break here in the Coffee N program, but more coming your way. And once again, this segment of Coffee N has been sponsored by attorney Bob Lotter. We'll only play his ad once. When you need a skilled attorney who will fight for your rights, look no further than attorney Bob Lotter of Woonsocket. If your legal questions revolve around estates or trusts, then talk to Bob. If you're contemplating a divorce, then talk to Bob. Attorney Bob Lotter has a calming demeanor, which is very helpful in legal matters. And Bob has more than 40 years' experience practicing law. Call attorney Bob Lotter today at 401-762-4550, 762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice.
ON 1240.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came back to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. Default terms at mintmobile.com.
ON Radio.
It's Coffee Inn on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with John Ward, Sue Tester McKenzie, and we're being joined at the Coffee Inn table by Gary Smith from the Do You Remember program. But Gary's here with his real estate hat on, and we had the question about the spas being closed up in Methuen, and John had the question of, well, what about the owners of the building? Could they be held responsible at all for having an illegal business going on in the building that they own? So Gary, what's the rule when you own the building and you rent it out to somebody that runs an illegal business?
Well,
my personal opinion is, and based on my experience, is the landlord doesn't have any interest or responsibility as to what goes on in that building. He's renting it to someone who's presenting themselves as a legitimate business. Well,
Okay.
it's up to that person to get business licenses and so on, and permits and so on and so forth. And whether they do or not, you don't have to submit that to the landlord. That's that's their job.
Okay.
So, but I guess, as I mentioned when I came in here, in general, you do not want to deny rent to someone just because they're a Chinese gentleman
Who is opening a spa?
Who is opening a spa? I mean, as far as that's as far as you know, that's legitimate.
Perfectly fine. Okay.
And heaven help you if you deny it just because he is of a different
Chinese.
color.
Okay.
So,
I think the question, though, was, as John was talking, was knowingly. Well, I don't care who you're renting to.
how do you
I
prove
don't
that,
care.
though?
Well, if you
Do
start
you think
seeing
the tenant applicant's going to say, "Hey, I want to run an illegal business out of your
no, but
establishment"?
there are ways. I mean, I walked in the door. It took me all of 3 seconds to know what was going on. So, if the property owner does visit the business, we'll say, "Oh, the toilet backed up, and now they're going to get the property owner out there." So there's a number of reasons why a property owner would be in
a lot
the
of property
business.
owners that never step foot in that property.
Okay.
And I think
But
Mike is-
knowingly, if they did, that
If
is
they did,
that's-
that is a Bob question.
That's what we were saying is that's a Bob question.
But Joe was describing how the police went there and simply advised the business,
Well, that was in Mansfield.
we know
yeah.
what you're doing, you'd best leave. And
So
they did.
So here you have a situation
that's-
where an actual law enforcement officer knows that they're running an illegal business
Right.
out, but he's not doing anything about
Well,
it.
they couldn't prove it.
Well,
But we know what's going on.
And how is the landlord going to prove it?
But
Okay.
it saved them the trouble of collecting the evidence to use in prosecution, so they simply suggested.
I think it was
they suggested that they.
I think it
move
was
on.
terrific
Right.
of them to handle it that way. Don't get me wrong, but it may or may not be.
Yeah, I don't doubt that the landlord is not legally responsible unless he knowingly participates somehow in the business operation or facilitates something that he knows to be illegal. But
All right.
in general, it's
Dave Richards has got his 2 cents on the
All
whole
right.
thing.
If we're comparing our
I want-
experiences and credentials here,
the
I can show on
the
this
barrister has arrived. All rise.
I wasn't going to say anything. I'm just going to let everybody not know what was going on until Gary came in and started stirring up the pot. So
All right.
I will tell you that of course, I have a limited field of understanding when it comes to broadcasting and federal law and all the rest of this sort of thing. Congress has authorized the FCC to go around and get rid of pirate radio stations, those who are operating without the due authority of the license from the FCC. And there are many of them. And so in order to get rid of them, of course, they come by and they seize your gear and they find the guy who's operating it. But that's not enough because they pop up and it becomes a game of whack-a-mole. So they now have authority from Congress to notify the owner of the property from where the broadcast signals are emanating and tell them you have an illegal broadcast operation on your property. Shut it down in 10 days or you will be fined. And eventually we'll sue you and eventually we'll try to take that property away from you.
Interesting.
That is the law. Now, this only goes with broadcast stations because that's my personal experience.
Well, I know, Howard.
And by the way,
Assembly hates landlords and loves tenants, so I would
Well, there you
imagine
go.
there's nothing like that in landlord-tenant law
I've
in
never
Rhode
personally seen a lease that didn't say you are prohibited from doing any illegal activity on this property,
I was
and
just
you
gonna-
agree to that when you sign a lease.
I was just going to say that if a tenant violates, if you want to get rid of a tenant and you know that they're violating some law, that is one reason, probably just about the only reason you can get rid of a tenant these days.
It's a good one, yeah.
Oh, you mean they hate them in Massachusetts too? Huh?
If you ever want to look up landlord-tenant rights in Massachusetts, it's 95% in favor of the tenant. It's absolutely ridiculous.
what do you expect
But
from a blue state?
but if they're dealing drugs or you even using illegal drugs and you can prove it, you can evict them. So yeah, there's that part of it. But
There you go.
Maybe
But
it's
it's
just
not
a
your
broadcasting
responsibility to investigate that.
No,
It's
no.
simply your right if you were to discover it. And whatever
Correct.
means you have to discover
Correct.
it.
There's
Well, once it's brought to your attention, you better investigate it.
Right.
And that's the case with the pirate radio stations.
Well,
Once
that's, you
the
know-
FCC notifies the property owner that there's illegal broadcasts coming from that property, and you are responsible.
and that's federal law.
Yeah.
Hence the FCC, but that's I think that's a whole different.
All right, that was 2 cents. You don't get any more for nothing. I'm leaving.
Well,
Thanks, Dave.
I probably owe you change.
No, that's good information to have. All right.
Send us the bill.
All right. We've been going over this the last couple of days. John, you might giggle at this. We always say we're lucky we're not in Coventry, and they just keep coming back in the news. I don't know if you heard the latest. Coventry Town solicitor Stephen Angel
Yes.
has resigned
As the solicitor.
after months of controversy over access to his
Relationship
unredacted.
with the council president.
That's not what he's.
Oh, no, this one's
that's
about the
going
land deal.
on.
This
is
is about the pond.
the unredacted legal invoices.
Yes.
Okay. The Coventry Town Council was expected to vote on whether to terminate his contract at a special meeting tonight.
His relationship
But he
was
already quit.
His relationship was in Cranston
Yes.
with the council president.
Yes.
And
he was
his
a solicitor in
unredacted
Cranston
bills
too. Yeah.
Did he release them?
I don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
They're expected. The councilors want to talk about their run to remove the president, Hillary Lima, who's been highly criticized for protecting Angel and attempting to limit public comment at town meetings. So it's it's crazy now.
Yeah,
What's going on
they're
down there?
basically hiding. But do you know who they're not giving the information to? Other members of the
Their town council?
who want an unredacted bill so they can see everything that he's charged the town. And as a town official, they're clearly entitled to it.
Okay.
And they refuse to give it to them. And it's all over that stupid pond that they're
Johnson Pond?
that's
Is that what it
privately
is?
owned.
Yeah.
And something about some legal maneuvers that are going on with that, where Angel has been billing them huge amounts of money, and the council members said, "I want to see the full bill," and she said,
Yeah.
the council president said, "No," and they won't show them.
Tensions between Angel, Lima, and the rest of the town council have been rising ever since Jamie LeBlanc and Scott Copley abruptly resigned back in April. I guess they were on the council. Their resignations were in response to Angel providing them with heavily redacted legal invoices, which goes against the Coventry town charter. And then Copley was later charged with threatening Lima after she accused him of making a sexually violent remark to another councilor by phone. He's pleaded not guilty. It's a soap opera
It's
down there. You can't tell the players without a scorecard either.
yeah, that is one ethically challenged town.
Yeah, okay.
Not as ethically challenged as our own Rhode Island Ethics Commission, which raised the gift number by 100% when nobody asked them to do it.
And the town manager in Coventry, Daniel Perillo, opted not to share Angel's resignation letter with Channel 12 because the council hasn't received it yet, but just did confirm, yep, he quit. So you'll get the official resignation letter at a later time. So.
Good for him.
So
What a stand-up guy.
what, the one that quit? So all right, so that's what's going on there. All right, we're coming down to the end of the program, so thanks for joining us, everybody. And will we be watching the Red Sox tonight, Gary?
No,
not at all. Sue?
No.
No. John?
On and off. I'll
On and
probably
off?
go back and forth with
All right.
some other shows if there's interesting stuff on.
I guess it's just going to be me going.
Maybe I'll bounce between that and the football game. Who's playing the football game tonight?
Excellent question. I think it's the San Francisco 49ers, but I forgot who they're playing. So yes. So you got your choice. Gary's a huge sports fan. You get your choice, Gary. Baseball or football tonight?
Let me just say this about professional sports. I love it when Massachusetts teams win.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
But they're not going to get 1 minute of my time or $1 of my money.
You ever been to Fenway Park?
No.
No.
That's
No.
he feels the way he feels that way about
yes.
sports like I feel about gasoline tax in Rhode Island.
Sue?
They get not one dime of
All
my
right.
money. I go to Massachusetts to buy it because it's like 8 cents cheaper.
Sue?
This show was so politicized today.
Sorry.
But I do have who's playing.
Oh, great.
It is the 49ers and the Rams.
Okay. Mac Jones is the quarterback for the.
One of those teams undefeated.
No. So, okay.
That would have made it interesting.
So
I
guys,
was just going to say that.
so but you never been to Fenway Park? Ever been to the Garden in Boston? Either the old one or the new one?
I've actually played in the Garden.
Played what?
Basketball.
You have?
Yeah.
How'd you swing that?
My junior high school team
Oh,
played.
okay.
The old Garden.
Played,
the old Garden.
Played before the Celtics.
Well, that's cool. Gillette Stadium? Oh, Foxborough Stadium? Ever been to a football game?
Not for a game, only for a concert.
Concerts, okay.
When
All
it was
right.
Schaefer.
Well, that's a long time ago.
Back in the 70s.
$5 for the ticket?
So, if that.
Who'd you say?
Beach Boys.
With it?
And Sha-Na-Na.
Well, there's a combo.
Right?
Sha-Na-Na
On the
opened for the Beach
aluminum
Boys.
benches.
Wow.
My
Yeah.
first,
I was just
my
going to
very
say
first
the aluminum
concert.
benches.
Yeah.
No, I do love it when Massachusetts or New England
teams
teams
win.
win because it's just it makes people feel better.
Everyone's happy.
Everybody's happy. I like people being happy.
All right, very good.
I got to tell you, those aluminum benches feel great in a December football.
Oh, they're the best.
Don't put your tongue on them.
Nope. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Stay tuned. Gary Smith is coming back in a few minutes because he's got his Do You Remember program. So stick around, Gary. Don't go anywhere, okay? And Sue, thanks for coming in.
Bye. Have a good rest of the week.
All right, John Ward, thanks for being here
Yes,
as
and go
well.
out and enjoy the beautiful weather we're going to have for at least another week, it seems, and maybe some warmer weather coming. Now that autumn's here, we don't know what we're going to get from
That's
day
right.
to day.
All right, 9 o'clock news is coming up next, followed by Do You Remember here on ON, AM, and FM.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union